Hello, and today we're going to talk about forces in 1D and 2D. So let's begin. So what are the forces in 1D and 2D? These are the forces that are present on an object such as F-graph, F-norm, F-up, F-rig, F-tense, coefficient of friction, and F-net. To determine its motion or the force that was needed. Their unit is always in Newton or N, except on determining the acceleration because its unit is meter per second squared. So here are the formulas that we can use in order to solve the problem as we proceed. F-grab's formula will be F-grab equals mg or mass multiplied by gravity. F-norm is also mass times gravity kasi hindi present ang inclined plane dito and the surface is or the object is on a flat surface. That is why F-graph is also equal to F-norm. Moving on. F-rig's formula would be coefficient of friction times F-norm. F-up has a formula of F-net equals F-up minus F-rig. So bakit nga ba ganito ang formula ng F-up? So pwede nating i-derive itong formula na ito in order to get the F-up. So let's move on. Coefficient of friction's formula would be F-rig over F-norm, and F-net's formula would be F-net equals MA. This formula can be used if you are going to find its acceleration or its mass. Then, another formula for F-net would be F-net is equal to F-up minus F-rig. So let's proceed to our problem. A 23 kilogram block of wood was pushed to the right with an applied force of 15.5 N, while a friction of 12.3 N was present. Determine the net force, coefficient of friction, and the acceleration of an object. So first, we need to identify the given values in this problem, in which M or mass will be 23 kilograms. Gravity is also present, in which its value will be 9.8 meter per second squared. F up would have a value of 15.5 N or Newton. F rig would have a value of 12.3 Newton. So we need to find its F graph, F norm, coefficient of friction, acceleration, and F net. So why do we need to find these two? We need to find these two in order to solve for coefficient of friction and to its F net. So let's draw a diagram to further understand this problem. So here you go. F up would be 15.5 N, F rig will be 12.3 N, and its mass will be 23 kilograms. Whereas the F graph is needed to be found, and also the F norm, its coefficient of friction, acceleration, and F net. So let's go into solving. We must first solve for F graph, which is F graph equals M times G, or mass is multiplied by gravity. Whereas our mass is 23 kilograms and our gravity is 9.8 meter per second squared. So our F graph will be 225.4 N. Next, we need to solve for F norm. Kaya sinabi ko kanina na hindi na kailangan i-solve ang F norm kasi nasa flat surface naman ito at kaparehas niya lang ang value ng F graph. Mag-iiba lang ang value ng F norm if nasa inclined plane ang object or nasa horizontal motion. Nasa horizontal ang kanyang lugar. Kaya, ang ating F-norm ay 225.4 newtons din. So, after that, we need to solve for coefficient of friction, which is F-rig over F-norm. Then we need to input its values that we've got, which is 12.3 Newton is our F-rig and 225.4 N is our F-norm. Compute it. 12.3 divided by 225.4, 0.05 is the value that we've got in coefficient of friction. So bakit nga ba wala na yung N na unit or Newton? Because maka-cancel ito. Okay? Now, let's proceed. In order to get the F net, we must use the formula F net equals F up minus F free. Meron na tayong value ng F up, which is 12.3 N, at meron na tayong value ng F free, which is, meron na tayong value ng F up, which is 15.5 N, at meron na tayong value ng F free, which is 12.3 N. So we need to subtract this. 15.5 N minus 12.3 N will be 3.2 N. So hindi pa ito nagtatapos. Kailangan nito ng direction. Kung kaya't, sinabi din sa problem kanina, the block of wood was pushed to the right, in which its direction would be to the right. Kaya ang F net natin is 3.2 newtons to the right. Now, let's go and find the acceleration. So the formula for that we're gonna use is F net equals ma, or mass multiplied by acceleration. Pero meron na tayong F net at mass. Kaya, kailangan natin i-derive ang formula na to acceleration equals F net over m in order to get its acceleration. Then, we need to input its values, 3.2 N, at ang kanyang mass ay 23 kg. Kaya 3.2 N over 23 kg would be 0.14 meter per second square. So, our acceleration will be 0.14 meter per second square in this problem. And that solves everything in this problem. Nakuha na natin ang ating coefficient of friction, ang ating net force, at ang acceleration ng object. And that's all. Thank you, and see you again from our next video. Goodbye.